What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday morning. Wait to see if we get a few people come on here. A lot of cool stuff going down. Just kind of share the activities coming up for the weekend, for the weeks, for the months. So, how's everybody doing this beautiful Saturday morning? It actually cooled off quite a bit around Chicago. It was hotter than hell for like 3 weeks straight. But this morning, woke up in the 60s, which is nice. 70s now. Not even sure what the high is today. So I am actually on my way. I got about it's going to be about a 5-hour round trip. Going to check out Benjamin Doss's system up in Wisconsin. He's got two setups, a 2-channel legacy setup, and then he's also got a theater room style setup. So certainly looking forward to check that out. Mr. Doss has been down to our house a few times, so it'll be cool to check out his spaces and sit back, relax, enjoy ourselves. I actually just got confirmation from Don Hensley from Horizon Home Theater and the Home Theater Hub that he'll be in the house for a Base Brings Us Together experience, checking out all 3 systems, hanging out with Don. He's been on our podcast before. I've been on theirs, so he'll be coming up from Florida up to the Chicagoland area. He's going to come by and stop by for a little bit. We're going to hang out. Also, I'm going to be going by Edgar Ward's house next month. He just got his upgraded Seaton submersive 21-inch subs, and I believe he's got like a Marantz AV10, a bunch of Golden Air speakers. I've been to Edgar's house a couple of times. Always a great time. So cool that he got some upgrades. I'm going to swing by there, hang out with him next month. Rich Tanner's having a get-together in October. Kat and I will be going over there for the day, hanging out. See, he got a pretty good response for that get-together, so it'll be cool to see everybody and hang out. Then we got Wayne Pamposa going to be at our house here in 5 or 6 weeks from the Philippines. Gonna hang out, come over for the Base Brings Us Together experience, hang at our place for a few hours, then we're gonna go over to Mark Giovanetti's for a few hours, and we're gonna take Wayne out for some authentic Chicago pizza. That'll be a fun, that'll be an all-day event for sure. So got quite a few people coming for that, some people from far away, so that'll be awesome. Actually started my morning this morning with was chatting with Steve Mead. He's moving shops, he's finishing up his kids' build, so it was cool that me and Steve were on a phone call this morning for about a half hour or so, just sharing what we've been up to back and forth. So this hobby's also, been super cool. I followed Steve for a long time before me and him actually became friends, so it's cool that me and him get a chat kind of regularly and just what each other's up to and what's going on. Also, I got a lot of shit going on. A lot of gatherings, get-togethers, going to other people's places. Just a lot of stuff going on. So then now in November, a few of us guys from Chicago are road tripping it, making a few stops along the way, heading out to hang out with the Obsessed Home Theater guys and Audioholics. Should be going by Matthew Poses to check out his place, hang out with Don Dunn. But it'd be good, go check out Youth Man's Theater. Bessie's new theater should be done at that time also as well. So by the end of the year, yeah, we got like, 7-8 things going on. So certainly got a lot of cool stuff going on. Try to share as much as I can. I don't do lives like this very often, just because we got a ton of shit going on nonstop. Hey Nicholas, thanks for stopping on here. And sorry if I mispronounce it, Nephaeus. So appreciate you guys stopping on here. I just wanted to come and update everybody quick, say what's up. Got a nice drive ahead of me. Like I said, I got about a 5-hour round trip to go to Benjamin's house and back. I'll share some pictures. Make sure it's cool with him first, take any pictures of people's setups and share stuff. So I know he's got a pretty nice 2-channel setup. Legacy speakers, from the pictures, they look to be certainly one of the more top of the line Legacy speakers. They look roughly to be 5 feet tall or so. So I always thought Legacy made beautiful speakers. I've heard some of their products at Expona. Always thought they sounded good, looked great. Speakers, to me, speakers that also look like very fancy furniture. So it'll be cool to hear them in a home setting. I have not heard Legacy towers in a home setting, so that'll be a nice experience, and just hang out with a couple guys, from the hobby is always a treat for me as well. So what's everybody else up to today? I had people asking me about my change from the ported Captivators to the sealed, like moving from the Cap 6000s over to the RS2s. I've decided heavily now against that. I was certainly on the fence because I must have had a few minutes of downtime, and that gets my brain to thinking. I don't get downtime very much, so I made that decision for a few reasons. Is actually I haven't been down in the theater to actually use it, other than to shoot a video or give a demo, in actually quite some time. So first of all, to haul a shitload of 300-pound subwoofers up the stairs, and then haul 10 300-pound subs up the stairs, and then haul 20 225 pounds through the house and down the stairs, also selling the other ones. And then our biggest bottleneck to date has certainly been just enough available electricity for the house. It is a good possibility that I can upgrade from a 200 to a 300 amp service within a reasonable cost, so I may pursue that, because as of right now, during the heaviest of demos, man, allergies killing me, especially with all the rain that we just got. So during the heaviest of demos, still tripping the 200 amp main breaker, especially if you want to do a lot of low hertz stuff, and if it gets kind of sine wavy-ish, then it'll certainly trip that breaker. So moving up to a 300 amp, I don't actually have electrician out. I don't have to actually change the whole service to the house. If I wanted to do a 400 amp service, then it's actually would be extremely expensive. So thinking either later on this year or next year, I'll bump up from a 200 to 300 amp service, so I can at least use what I have to its full potential. It's still going to leave my main, highest SPL in the mid 150s. But what it'll do is I should be able to bump up maybe a dB or so at the lowest frequencies, like around 10 hertz or so, just because I'll be able to actually play that at its full output capability. But I've decided to leave the theater alone. If something does change down there, it'll be the projector. I'll move up to a JVC laser. Still currently using a JVC lamp. But I just put a new lamp in it about 300 hours ago, which sadly was like a fucking year ago. So definitely need to spend some more time down there. I won't spend much time down there in the spring and summertime. I'm outside all the time. But get a lot of questions now too about the Kalo system. Hey, for everybody that's hanging out at Audio Advice Live, certainly jealous. Looks like a lot of cool stuff going on out there. Already had plans for this weekend. Kat's actually in Vegas. She's gonna be out in Vegas for a week. It's her best friend's birthday, and her best friend lives out there, so they're gonna be hanging out for the week, which puts me in charge of the kids, which is scary in itself. No, just kidding. Everything will be fine. I ain't worried about it. But she'll be out enjoying herself. So that was going on this weekend. I couldn't leave town like that for Audio Advice Live, which is fine. Like I said, I got a million other things going on. So I had a few questions about the Kalos, which I will answer. Nicholas says, what's the main reason you would switch to RS2? Because of space factors or fit more? Well, the biggest deal for me would have been I might have been able to bump up my max SPL in like that 18 to 22 hertz range moving from 2018s to 4018s. The RS2s I would have been able to double drivers and taken up approximately about the same amount of space, because two RS2s is roughly about the size of, one Captivator ported version. So it was that. So I could have increased my max SPL just a tad for doubling up the drivers and doubling up the power, and I would have been pretty flat in room to probably about 4 or 5 hertz or so, which is fine. I mean, we're good in room. I mean, I stay fairly flat to like 8.5, 9, and within 3 dB like 7.5. So it would have been just cool to extend the absolute max frequency and also drop the hertz a little bit. But it is a huge pain in the ass, for one, moving and selling and buying, and then at the end of the day, I would have had to went with a 400 amp service, and obviously selling and then buying. I would have been, I don't know, to make the change. I mean, probably would have cost me somewhere in like that $60,000 to $70,000 range, which I wasn't really prepared to do, considering that any addition that it made would get used once a year, and also would just be a huge pain in the ass of moving all that stuff around, buying and selling, and then of course dropping that amount of money on something that I would literally, let's just say, never use, because the system don't get used anywhere near its capability now, but just a handful of times a year when people stop by. Yeah, I don't think Michael would buy anything used and resell. I don't know exactly how all the warranty and stuff like that would work, and I don't know. Probably just better off, if I was to go that route, I would have just sold a private sell. I don't think I would have had any trouble selling it, because the last time I sold my older JTR speakers, I never even put them up for sales. Once people heard I was getting new ones, I had 40 people in my inbox within 24 hours, and I just worked my way down the list. Like the second or third guy ended up buying them. So it's a pain in the ass to move everything around. It's a lot of work, a lot of money. So the Kalos, a lot of people asking about Kalos, and I'll just answer this here now because I got a nice drive ahead of me. Is people were asking me why should they go with the Kalos 465 or go with the 210 HT. Because they're similarly priced, or exact price, I'm not even sure. I believe they're each $24.99, and I happen to have both because I use 210 HTs in the theater and then the 465s in the other living room. So the 465 is definitely more living room, media room, family room friendly. I mean, for sure. They look really nice. They can be wall mounted. They're slim. They have great output capability. I mean, I run mine off of a Denon Beaver X3800. We can hit reference levels, which is plenty for us in the living room setup. The 210s, obviously bigger, bulkier. For some people, might not find them as attractive as a Kalos. That finish doesn't bother me. Actually, don't bother Kat either. I mean, because RTJs are in those finish in our family room, and she likes those finish. But I could see how people could think that the 210s have a more industrial type finish. So the Kalos are smaller, they look better.